What he's trying to say is, the Argos household sale is now on.
And you'd be a dummy to miss it.
Cheek.
Peak practice.
Is there anyone suffering at this very moment from some weakness of the spirit or of the body? Oh, yes. Here is your answer.
You've seen the world, you've saved the world, now you just want to settle down.
You keep saying this is a fresh start, but you keep on dragging up the past.
A Fresh Start, a new series, Tuesday at 9 on ITV.
Do you know this woman? She tried to use stolen documents at the NatWest Bank in Doncaster's High Street to obtain cash. The documents had been taken during a burglary earlier in the day at Bessacar. And here she is again trying to commit a similar crime at Lloyd's Bank in Doncaster. Who is she? And who's this man seen here entering the Derbyshire Building Society, also in Doncaster, on the 9th of November last year? Captured here on video, he approached the counter and handed over a note. He then threatened the cashier and claimed to have a weapon. But the cashier was able to activate security equipment, which frightened the would-be robber. He fled empty-handed, but not before we could see his face. Do you know him? If you have information about this or any crime, call Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
Welcome to Night Shift, which starts tonight with prisoner cell block H, and the Wentworth inmates get a chance to be radio stars.
You can't have a small car that's good on the open road.
You can with a Nissan.
And now all new Micras come with a year's free insurance. You can with a Nissan.
Your morning call.
Thank you.
Maid service.
Not now.
Laundry. Quick! There's a man out here with no trousers on. Ooh.
Looking for help buying a home? Then this free TSB video called The Home Buyer's Guide could be the key to your dream home. It makes understanding the whole process from making an offer to moving in child's play. It's helpful and enlightening, no matter what place takes your fancy. Ring 0345 123 900 for your free video. Because we want you to say yes.
I'm a 35-year-old father, and I love my kids. Cereal.
Brave adults express their innermost feelings about life and their love for Kellogg's Frosties.
I'm a mother who loves a kid's cereal. I'm in a very difficult position. My kids keep wondering why the box runs out so fast. I tell them the truth. Their father.
Those crunchy flakes with delicious frosting.
There's no denying it. Kellogg's Frosties have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great!
Persil Colour loves colours like shocking pink, but it really hates egg yolk yellow. Persil Colour's a big fan of fire engine red, but it can't stand grass green. And Persil Colour is crazy about sky blue, but it loathes chocolate brown. That's because Persil Colour has bleach-free stain eliminators to get rid of difficult stains like these, while protecting the colours wash after wash. Persil Colour loves colours, hates stains.
I live with the times, with progress, performance. For my skin, I've discovered continuous hydration with Plenitude Hydro Renewal.
A real breakthrough from L'Oreal. Hydro Renewal first gives an instant surge of moisture and then continuous hydration. Hydro Renewal goes beyond ordinary moisturizers.
With continuous hydration, my skin feels soft, supple and youthful.
Continuous hydration with Hydro Renewal. Plenitude from L'Oreal challenges the signs of aging.
In 1993, Nissan exported more cars from Britain than any other manufacturer. You can with a Nissan.
Let Sharwood's simple sauces put your cooking on the map.
Having a sore throat used to be a real pain in the neck, but now I have it kissed better with these fruity Hall soothers. Just allow one to dissolve slowly in your mouth. First the smooth eucalyptus gets to work before the gentle kiss of the real fruit liquid center. Have your sore throat kissed better with Hall soothers. I can't wait to try the cherry flavor.
The Wilkinson Sword Protector. A razor so sharp that it has to be kept behind bars. Wilkinson Sword's protective guard wires ensure that while the shave is close, there is no safer wet shave. The safest wet shave ever from Wilkinson Sword. Protector only from Wilkinson Sword.
If you suffer from indigestion,
take many Repees in 4 fruity flavours. They work, you know, that's the thing that I like.
It's tangy, it's fast, it's Rennie Repees.
Healthy people find it keeps them on an even keel. Others say they like the way it makes them feel. Some eat it in the garden and it doesn't matter when, and some because it's no added sugar Alpen. Some people eat it when there's no one else around, when the kids have gone to school and there's not a single sound. Some like it in the evening when they catch the news at 10, and some because it's no added sugar Alpen.
Flex with silk protein. Beautiful, healthy looking, exceptional. Shine. Flex by Revlon.
Do you like the fresh fragrance of spring in everything you wash? We've captured it for you in the fragrant fabric softener that goes into bold spring fresh. Or maybe you prefer the evocative fragrance of a summer meadow. If you do, you'll be pleased to hear we've captured that too. New bold Summer Meadow Fresh or Spring Fresh. Now there's a choice of freshness for your wash.
Over 10,000 people have won cash prizes playing Tele-Million, and David from Liverpool won last month's £250,000 jackpot. This month,
You could win £250,000. Just pick up the phone. No, you flaming clot! Pick up the phone and dial this number. Answer one simple question correctly and you could win £250,000.
So call Tele-Million anytime, day or night on 089 1 million.
There's a new lineup for Tuesday on ITV. At 7:25, we kick off with live football action in the quarter-final second leg of the Cup Winners' Cup. Can Arsenal beat Torino on home ground?
I want a bath. A bath? I didn't know it was the Queen's birthday.
Then some of the old faces make a return to make you laugh.
Martini! I've lost the bottom half of it! You what?
After the news, there's film, drama and intrigue with Naked Live.
These are the names of the men you blackmailed.
This is a murder trial, not a case of blackmail.
We're going to be tempted to discuss this case, you know.
A new rundown for this Tuesday on ITV.
The Coca-Cola football match card. Scratch the card. Match the winning number.
Win the prizes!
Coca-Cola World Cup footballs.
Win the prizes!
Coca-Cola Cup final seats.
Win the prizes!
Sega Mega Drives and soccer games.
Win the prizes!
World Cup final tickets. Scratch, match and win with Coca-Cola.
You'll have a good time, just call friends. You really
I'm a 35-year-old father, and I love my kids. Cereal.
Brave adults express their innermost feelings about life and their love for Kellogg's Frosties.
I'm a mother who loves a kid's cereal. I'm in a very difficult position. My kids keep wondering why the box runs out so fast. I tell them the truth. Their father.
Those crunchy flakes with delicious frosting.
There's no denying it. Kellogg's Frosties have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great!
Who's got the tenderest turkey? Iceland have, with £2 off. Yes, £2 off. That's why Mum's gone to Iceland.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
That's original.
Emerson High, 1975. You're in my class.
I was your teacher.
What helps keep skin looking young? Oil of Ulay twice a day. It's quickly absorbed deep down, moisturizing where you need it most.
Miss Fitzhenry?
Bugsy Brown.
Oil of Ulay twice a day.
Wow.
The secret of young-looking skin.
If you want your family's clothes to be brilliantly white, there's something new from Fairy. Used wash after wash, it gives polycottons the brightest fairy whiteness. Just imagine it. If you want them to be bright, new Fairy is a touch of brilliance for your family's whites.
The Escort Java at just £10,995 on the road. It's not camera shy. Shire, your local Ford dealer. We've a great deal to offer.
It's approaching the start of the new IndyCar season for Nigel Mansell.
Start your engines.
Welcome to 1994, my IndyCar show, and so many things that happened over the winter. Please stay with us. We have an action-packed preview coming for you.
Yes, the new IndyCar season is go. Nigel assesses his chances for 1994 and tells us about his record-breaking new car. We've got all the news on Nigel's main rivals. And we go behind the scenes with Honda, bringing Formula One technology into IndyCar racing with Bobby Rahall's team.
Well, good morning. We're speaking to you from Sebring. This is the last test before the season gets underway. In 1994, there's been a few new things happening. One, not least, is the joining of James Allen to the crew. He's going to be working with us through the year and is going to be bringing you the latest track topics, literally from the pits. What are you most looking forward to this year, James?
Well, thank you very much, Nigel. I'm really looking forward to this season. It's going to be so exciting, probably the most competitive ever. And I'm really looking forward to the oval races, where you certainly won your fair share of races last year. Let's take another look at how he won his championship.
Nigel Mansell came to IndyCars in 1993 as the reigning Formula One champion. He settled in straight away in the Newman-Haas team and was setting testing records before the season began. Could a rookie really win the championship? It didn't take long to get an answer. Nigel set a blistering pace in qualifying at Surfers Paradise. In the race, he smoked past rival Emerson Fittipaldi to become the first rookie in history to win on his debut from pole position. Cheered on as always by his army of fans. His championship challenge suffered a setback on the 1 mile oval at Phoenix. Well on the pace in qualifying, a terrifying accident put Nigel in the hospital with severe back injuries. He made a remarkable recovery and finished third at Long Beach, bolstered by the warmth of his fans' support. And he came close to winning America's premier event, the Indianapolis 500. They said a Formula One driver would struggle to win an oval race, but Nigel proved them wrong at Milwaukee, slicing through the traffic like a veteran. He came through to win the first oval race he'd started, thereby strengthening his championship points lead. Team owner Paul Newman led the celebrations as Nigel hoisted his second winner's trophy of the year. Mid-season, the battle for the title hotted up, and on the wide sweeping curves of Cleveland's airstrip track, Nigel's dice with Emerson Fittipaldi had the crowd in rapture. Two ex-Formula One champions slugging it out like prize fighters. On to the daunting superspeedway at Michigan, and it was a Newman-Haas walkover. Mario Andretti claimed pole position, but in the season's second 500-mile race, Nigel fought past the old master and, running at over 230 miles an hour on the bumpy oval, held off his rivals to win another crucial victory. There was more jubilation at New Hampshire. What better way to celebrate your 40th birthday than with another oval win? The dream finally came true at Nazareth, where Nigel fought off a hard-charging Paul Tracy to become the first man ever to win back-to-back Formula One and IndyCar championships. a moment to savour.
Well, that was last season, but for 1994, Nigel, the Newman Haas team, Lola and Ford Cosworth all knew they needed to come up with something special if they were going to retain the title. Nigel also knew he needed to get really fit. He's taken up karate, and he's looking over his new car with his karate instructor.
Rick is a fifth Dan in karate, my sensei, and he beats me up good at times. But I mean, it's the first time you've been in IndyCar. What's it feel like?
Confining.
But what I'm going to do now, while Rick is having some photographs taken, and it's the safest place to have him, by the way, locked up under key, I'll take you around the car, so follow me around the car. What we have this year in 1994 is a complete new Lola. It's a new design, totally, suspension, aerodynamics, and the whole thing, if you look at it at the front, aerodynamically it's far superior. And as you can see at the back end here, I'm not going to be specific today. I mean, maybe later on in the year when we've got a few races under our belt, I'll be more specific in areas of the car. The reason for that is that there's some real sensitive areas to this car where we don't want the competitors to catch up with us. Because as you know, if you stand still for 1 week, you go backwards in motor racing. But this area here is very significant. It's much lower. We have a transverse gearbox underneath here. Last year's car, we had the gearbox sticking out the back 21 inches, and it weighed 150 pounds in weight. Now that weight has been cut off and it's been moved forward, so the whole C of G of the car is a little bit different. Very, very good part. Also with that comes an aerodynamic advantage. The rear wing is still covered up because that's another sensitive area which we won't talk about, but it's our design. And then basically, as you can see, the configuration of the car is very, very similar. A lot of developments over the winter, even with the helmets. We obviously have an air intake here, and this is aerodynamic to try and keep the helmet centered. But then we've grown these ears over the winter. Could call them Mickey Mouse ears, and aerodynamically on the super speedways it keeps the helmet steady. It stops your head from rocking from side to side, and it works very, very well indeed. But nothing stands still, and in point of fact I've got another helmet with different ears which come up here. So we have a helmet now for super speedways, which are the two races we have at Indianapolis and Michigan 500. I have another design helmet now for the 1 mile ovals, and then I have another helmet which is designed especially for street courses. So I mean, the development just doesn't stand still with the car or the engine, it even comes into the helmet.
Dawn at Sebring, Florida, 200 miles to the north of Miami, and the team arrives for the final test before the new season begins. On hand, as always, is Nigel's race engineer Peter Gibbons, one of the pillars of Nigel's success last year. The mechanics have arrived early to prepare Nigel's new Lola Cosworth car for the grueling 3-day test. It's been a busy winter for the team. They've put in over 2,000 miles proving the new car. It's almost as tough a schedule as the season proper, but it's a way of life for this dedicated bunch. Nigel arrives in his plane after a short flight from his home in Clearwater. He may be living in America now, but he's still flying the flag. It's been a good winter's testing, and Nigel is obviously feeling comfortable. The mechanics, most of whom were with Nigel last year, put the final touches to the car, working with the precision and discipline of surgeons. Chief mechanic Tom Wirtz makes sure Nigel's feet won't slip on the pedals. It's Wirtz's job to make sure the whole operation ticks over like a Swiss watch. Red 5, of course, has turned into Red 1 this year, as befits Nigel's status as champion. The Ford XB turbo engine cracks into life, and Nigel's out onto the track to put the car through its paces, experimenting with different shock absorber and engine settings. The Newman Haas team chose Sebring for their final test because with its twisty turns and tight hairpin, it's an ideal circuit on which to perfect the setup of the car and engine for the narrow street circuit at Surfers Paradise in Australia. The mechanics have put traffic cones on the main straight to simulate the fast chicane. The Lola hugs the line through the tight hairpin. If there was any criticism of last year's car, it was that it lacked grip on road and street courses compared to the Penske. Now it's much better balanced, thanks to the new transverse gearbox and stiffer chassis. This year's car is already a big improvement. The car is running well, and Nigel gives his impressions of its handling characteristics to Gibbons. The feedback from driver to engineer is crucial.
But the secret is you've got to walk back.
Then it's off to greet some visitors from England, who Nigel has brought out to enjoy the sunshine and track action.
Mind the step over here.
Join us after the break as we take a closer look at the opposition facing Nigel in 1994.
Must be dinner time. Best get going. At times like this, there's only one thing to wear. The little black dress. Coco Chanel invented it back in the 20s. What do you reckon? She said fashion fades, only style remains. That's what great design is all about. Didn't Coco invent the suntan as well?
We want your business to get more out of the day.
Good morning.
So now at BT, it's as cheap to call in the morning as it's always been in the afternoon.
Good morning. Hello, Frank. I didn't wake you up.
Any solution? Look, yes, I'm sure we can sort it out by the time.
I just thought I'd go through these figures before you go into your meeting. Seamus, my friend, top of the morning. I just thought I'd go through these figures. I think we do something at that price.
And the next call, Benny, is a call of nature.
The new daytime rate from BT.
Confirm the contract.
Haze has a unique adjustable control, so you can enjoy the same fragrance week after week after week after week. Home is where the haze is.
I live with the times, with progress, performance. For my skin, I've discovered continuous hydration with Plenitude Hydro Renewal.
A real breakthrough from L'Oreal. Hydro Renewal first gives an instant surge of moisture and then continuous hydration. Hydro Renewal goes beyond ordinary moisturizers.
With continuous hydration, my skin feels soft, supple, and youthful.
Continuous hydration with Hydro Renewal. Plenitude from L'Oreal challenges the signs of aging.
To make life easier in the bathroom, Jif have created Jif Mousse. You just spray it on. The mousse works into every awkward corner. Leave it to work for a few minutes while it cleans and helps against limescale, and rinse, leaving a perfect shine and a pleasant smell. Jif Mousse, original and new lemon fresh, perfectly effortless results.
Welcome back, and time for reflection on winter testing.
Nigel, you've set some lap records just about everywhere you've been. Take us through what's been achieved this winter in track testing.
Well, it's been quite phenomenal, really. I mean, we started off at Firebird West, which is in Phoenix, and we went approximately about 7-8 tenths quicker there. But the thing was, we got a feel of the new car, and it was very, very promising. Immediately then, we went on to the Phoenix Oval, which is perhaps not one of my favourite places for obvious reasons. And then we set a new track record there, and actually was the first person to do a sub 20-second lap, which is over 180 miles an hour average on a mile oval, which has never been done in America before. And then from there, we went back to California, to Monterey, to Laguna Seca, where we actually struggled last year in the race. And we lowered that track record by a second a lap. And then we finished the winter testing now here at Sebring in Florida, and I'm very pleased to say that with the same aerodynamic setup we had last year, we've gone almost 3 seconds a lap quicker, which is pretty phenomenal.
Last year on the road courses and the street courses, you struggled a little bit compared to the ovals.
Yeah.
What was the problem then, and what's been done to put that right?
Well, I mean, there's a number of things really. Aerodynamically, last year's car was inferior. I think it was even inferior to the 92 car because some of the regulation changes. And I think the step forward that Lola have made now this winter with the new car is pretty phenomenal. I won't sort of quote percentages, but I mean, they have made a major contribution to you know, the exciting testing that we've actually had this year.
As you said, you went the first sub 20-second lap at PIR, Phoenix International Raceway.
That's correct.
Last year when you had your accident, you were going into that corner, turn 1, at 100